Hey everyone, we're back with our countdown to Splash. We are only 5 days away now of meeting in person at DC for the OneStream Splash Conference. I hope you've already registered, but if you haven't, it's not too late. If you're considering attending, we highly recommend registering as soon as possible since it will be worth it. As you hopefully have seen, we've been thrilled to feature some of the amazing members of our performance management team at Archetype each week. In case you missed any of those previous episodes, I'll have them listed below in the description. Normally, we've released these videos consistently on Mondays, but with this being our last countdown video and the exciting news of our partnership with Inlumi also coming out today, we've decided to release this video along with that announcement. So this week, I have two special guests with me for our final countdown video. First one is Jason Webster, our founder and CEO here at Archetype, and the second is Ashley Chapman, the CEO of Inlumi. Jason and Ash, welcome to the Countdown to Splash final video.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Mitchell.
So before we dive a bit more into the partnership, why don't we take a small step back? And I want to ask both of you as two executives of companies that are both diamond partners with OneStream, what is your thought on the OneStream market right now, and how has this economic turbulence that we're experiencing impacting it or not?
I think first and foremost, it's hard to get any kind of consensus on what's happening in the global markets. There's a lot of opinions, and sometimes I think it's a lot of prognosticating so that someone can 3 or 5 years from now say, I told you so, and be right. But I'm not sure we really know exactly what's going on. But when I think more, you act locally and think locally, in our business as Diamond partners, I know we've been growing aggressively around OneStream and the partnership. I know there's a tremendous demand, and that demand from our perspective seems to be growing. We expect to hire, not just 5 people, but a lot more than that this year around our OneStream skill set. And for me, even coming out of last year, it's still problem solving. What does healthy growth look like to make sure we're kind of thinking ahead and staying one step ahead of what our customers need. So we're not slowing down. I think we're still in hiring mode, and we're excited. I think Splash is going to be a lot more energy, and I think we're going to come out of Splash even probably a little bit faster than we're going in. Ash, what do you think?
I think from EMEA, we see something similar, actually. So there's still growth in the marketplace. Things are still moving, possibly a bit longer sales cycles than they were in kind of 2021, but not too much different, maybe a little bit more due diligence. There's slightly more interest in kind of FP&A or planning, scenario analysis type activities within the projects, but they're still kind of multi-process platform deals, and we're still seeing the market moving forward. So yeah, pretty positive, really.
Awesome.
Agreed.
And now I'm personally curious, as I'm sure all the employees are at each of the respective companies, and I'm sure OneStream themselves are curious, what kind of is each of your perspectives on growth strategies, and like balancing change with protecting what's important?
Yeah, it's something that we talk about quite a lot, actually. So it's important to be growing. If you're not moving forwards, then you're kind of standing still or backwards. So you kind of have to put a positive step forward. So growth is really important, but it's not growth for the sake of growth. And I think you touched on the most important thing there, which is remaining true to who you are as a company, your values, the culture of the organization. So that's something that we've focused on a lot in Inlumi, and it's one of our sort of main phrases, really, which is the experience matters, both working with us and for us. And that's the thing we try to hold to the most whilst growing as a company. So if you can protect that and hold on to it, basically deliver quality and value all of the time, then it's okay to be a growing organization at the same point.
Yeah, I mean, to steal from kind of sports, athletes talk about competing with themselves and how that they want to set their own cadence for growth and acceleration and development. And there's something underlying that kind of says, hey, I don't want to set unrealistic growths for myself. I don't want to insert expectations that aren't grounded or realistic or something that is achievable. And I think sometimes when you look to the markets, and there's a lot of money in the markets, especially in the US, that wants to invest in our industry, when you start taking investment, that kind of means you're not actually measuring your own growth anymore. You've got someone else who gets to kind of sit in the stands and grade your performance on the field. Where I think right now I'm excited about the team on the field. And when I think a little bit bigger around the combined team of Inlumi and Archetype, I feel really good about the fact that we can kind of grade our own performance and we can set our own pace and we can grow, we can be aggressive, we can compete and win. But really, like when we sit down and sit the table, like we can represent in our teams and hold on to what's always been important that got us this far and not change the game because there's a third party at the table telling us they want to grow faster and bigger and more, right? I think that's an important balancing act, particularly in a market where there's a lot of like pressure for growth. This partnership, in a lot of ways, is an answer to how do we brush back inorganic pressure on growth? How do we do it the right way? And that's why I'm excited about this, is because it wasn't necessarily my first thought. And frankly, I got to be honest that, I think in some ways I wasn't the first person thinking about this, and I appreciate Ash's, foresight in that context. But it really does answer a lot of questions that keeps our relative cultures and businesses intact and allows us to grow in the right way.
I feel like we've kind of answered it even with these answers, but going back to the partnership, from both of your perspectives, why does the partnership of Archetype and Inlumi make sense?
I think for me, first and foremost, when our customers are looking to implement OneStream or even answer a particular question, when we can bring together a larger team of people that represent a greater set of backgrounds and capabilities and skill sets, and even where they are in the world, that means we have a global view on a problem for a customer that might have a global problem, right? A lot of our customers who are big customers are not just in England or the US or some other country. So our ability to kind of take a question from a customer and then throw it to a much bigger team, and I think we're 350 plus now in terms of an integrated team, really helps us to answer questions with the right nuance and experience in a way that we couldn't before. In addition, I'll say that for us, we're excited by the fact that when we grow and we're being responsive to our customers, we've got a bigger bench of people that can help us respond in a more forward-leaning way. Ash, what would you kind of add to that?
Yeah, I think there's a number of reasons. You touch on some really good ones. Geographic coverage is important. Time zone coverage as well really helps. Relevance is a word that I often like. It's being, as long as you remain relevant to your customer, we talked about growth before, and it will only ever work if you remain relevant to your customer, and that's about being able to solve their problems better. And I think that's what the combination of the two of us does. It really deepens skills in areas where we're common. And then what I've always admired and loved was the skills that you guys have as Archetype in data and analytics. And we're seeing data analytics becoming a really, really important part of the projects. You combine that with really deep OneStream EPM skills and change skills, and then I think you have something unique and really important and relevant in the market.
Definitely. I feel like I've noticed just in the handful of conversations that I've been in with both of you guys together, that really kind of the integrity and almost overall core values of both Inlumi and Archetype seem almost identical too. So that's something that you kind of hit on before of what makes sense of this partnership. And one reason why I think that this partnership is going to be awesome and also extremely unique for all involved, both internal employees, partners, and really most importantly, our customers. And that brings me kind of to my next question, like this partnership, what's in it for our customers?
Well, we touched on it a second ago, really. It's that deeper skills and experience. And that's something that the three of us and with Jason, we talked about before, which is, if we've done 50 projects each, that's 100 projects, that's 100 experiences to draw from. And by doing that, you're going to be able to improve the quality and the value that you deliver by having that shared experience. You can deepen knowledge. You can take advantage of kind of the newer edges to the technology, particularly things around machine learning, predictive capabilities. You can do that better if you're equipped with the depth that comes from the combined organizations. And I think really for me, that's one of the most important things, which is what you're able to share in terms of ways of working, knowledge, skills, and experience. All of that helps inform the next projects, and you get better and better at what you do.
Yeah, one of Archetype's kind of core values since day one was, working the problem, not the hours. And when I think about that, I think Ash and I share that same perspective, which is, we don't get paid to work hours. I mean, our customers pay for our time and pay for the work we do. But fundamentally, if we can keep everyone focused on the business problem and making sure that we're solving a problem, adding value, and moving the agenda forward for our customers, that makes our customers both successful and happy with the relationship. When we start focusing on dollars and cents first, we start working the hours, not the problem. And I think that's something that I think within 10, 15 minutes of meeting Ash, I'm like, yeah, I think we're kind of wired the same way. This isn't about, getting people billable all the time and we're, trying to raise rates and push the envelope and, bill every 15 minutes. Like, I think we have that in common, which is let's go build great teams. Let's protect what's most important and really set up an environment where people are excited to work together, solve problems, and learn new stuff, right? Which is kind of what our customers need from us.
Yeah, and it's exciting times for sure. And I know places both Archetype and Inlumi will be able to go over the coming years is going to be awesome. Going back to Splash, as I mentioned before, we are now 5 days away. I know both of you will be there in person, in attendance. What are you most excited about for Splash?
I mean, it's funny. It's like it really is a community, and it's people that sometimes you only see them once a year, and other folks you see a little more often than that. But it's just a chance to get together and just kind of catch up, and really just have a little bit of a social connection with fellow folks I've worked with in the past who now work for competitors or old customers or the OneStream staff themselves and the relationships we've developed over the last, 8 years now, I guess it is, something like that. So that's exciting. I kind of look forward to that part of it. And then to me, it's really just getting face to face with existing customers and new customers and just really kind of putting our money where our mouth is, right? Or our mouth where our money is, I guess, in that case, right? Just be able to connect and just chat more and really just it's as much a social event for me as it is work, but that's because I guess the answer there is that I like what I do and like the people I work with, right?
Yes, the way it's got to be. On a professional note, for me, it's a really good learning event. I love hearing from the vendors, their intentions, where the direction of the platform is going, and then also the customers. So there's a lot of customers that present. You hear from them what they were trying to solve, the problems they were trying to address, what it meant for them as a business. I think that's a really valuable experience. It helps inform me and our team and the projects that we do. And then on a personal note, I think it's super important that you build these relationships in person. I've never been to DC as well, which I'm really looking forward to.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Ash and Jason, for coming on and talking a bit more also about this partnership and what this all means. And we'll definitely have further conversations with Ash and Jason coming out about this. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to stop by our booth at Splash and meet them in person as well. And thanks for staying with us all the way through our countdown to Splash, and see you all next week in DC. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Mitchell.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ash.
Yeah, cheers.